Welcome back to the channel. Now, I've been in a little bit of a conundrum since the last video, thinking about how I'm going to follow up on Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, it's the Prince of Darkness, right? He's pretty tough act to follow. The man literally bit the head off a bat. So, anyway, I began throwing some ideas out there, but nothing really jumped out to me. So in the meantime, decided to have a clear out some rubbish. When as if by divine intervention, I accidentally came across an old DVD on the Traveling Wilburys and thought, perfect. Which leads me to today's video, the Accidental Supergroup, how the Traveling Wilburys were born. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The story begins with George Harrison. Fresh off the success of his 1987 album Cloud 9, he needed a B-side for the European single release of This Is Love. He asked Lynne, his co-producer and frontman of Electric Light Orchestra, ELO, to help him record a new track. George was having dinner with Jeff one evening, and joining them, friends Roy Orbison and Bob Dylan. During the chat, George brought up an idea he had for the B-side, and mentioned that Bob had a home studio out in Malibu. He asked if he and Jeff could pop round to use it to put something together. Bob was happy to oblige, and Roy, curious to see what might happen, decided to join and sit in on the session. Everything was shaping up nicely, except for one small problem. George had left his guitar at his good friend Tom Petty's place, who lived nearby. So he headed over to pick it up, and while he was there, he figured, why not see if Tom fancied joining in too? As George later put it, I went round to Tom Petty's to pick up my guitar, which was at his house, and he said, oh, well, I was wondering what I was going to do tomorrow. And just like that, 5 musical legends found themselves in a room together. No grand plan, no big label meeting, just a happy accident. The song they ended up recording that day was Handled With Care, a title sparked by a random cardboard box George had spotted in the studio. He thought it had a nice ring to it, so they built the track around the phrase. Each artist brought something unique to the table. George took the lead on the verses, Roy soared through the bridge with that unmistakable voice, Bob and Tom traded lines, the laid-back charm, and Jeff, as ever, pulled it together, producing the track and layering in those signature harmonies. What began as a throwaway B-side turned into something electric, warm, melodic, full of soul. When George played it back to Warner Brothers, the reaction was instant. This is way too good for a B-side. So rather than let it gather dust, the 5 of them thought, why not make a proper go of it? What if we actually did form a band and recorded a full album? And just like that, the Traveling Wilburys were born. Not out of contracts or pressure, out of pure musical chemistry, and a cardboard box that said, handle with care. The name was inspired from a joke Harrison had come up with during the recording of Cloud 9. Wilbury was short for We'll Bury, referencing the mistakes in the recording they'd bury in the mix. Each member took on a fake Wilbury alias. Nelson Wilbury George, Otis Wilbury Jeff, Lefty Wilbury Roy, Charlie T. Wilbury Jr. Tom, and Lucky Wilbury Bob. They pretended to be half-brothers in a travelling family band. No egos, no lead singer, just mutual respect. The debut album, Traveling Wilburys Volume 1, was released in October 1988. Fans loved it, critics praised its warm humour and effortless songwriting. It went triple platinum in the US, won a Grammy, and produced hits like End of the Line, Handle With Care, and Heading for the Light. But weeks later, after the album's release, tragedy struck. Roy Orbison died of a heart attack on December 6, 1988. His death shocked the group, but they chose not to replace him. They simply carried on, leaving his chair empty in future music videos and the guitar solemnly rocking. In 1990, the remaining 4 members released a follow-up, the Traveling Wilburys Volume 3. Skipping Volume 2 was an inside joke, as it's usually a flop. It was more rock-driven, didn't have the same impact commercially, but fans still embraced it. After that, the Wilburys quietly ended. No tour, no drama, no farewell announcement. Just 2 albums that captured lightning in a bottle. The Traveling Wilburys weren't a product of contracts or planning. They were the result of friendship, timing and musical freedom. 5 legends, 1 garage and 1 song that was never meant to exist. Proving sometimes the best things in music can happen by complete accident. Thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe and stick around for more untold stories in the world of rock and roll. This has been Signals of Sound, and remember, every signal tells a story.